In this section, we're going to look at Outlook and Exchange, and you'll learn about Outlook, Exchange, and how to use it. We're going to look at using your mail, using calendar, looking at your people, which are your contacts, and using those, as well as using your tasks. So first, let's look at using your mail. And here, we're going to look at the usual options, the focus and other views, filterings and folders, working with received mail, and how you get the contextual ribbon. Then we're going to talk quickly about groups, how to create and send mail, and getting more mail settings. First, let's look at the usual options. In order to get to your mail, you can just go to the app launcher or app switcher, click on the Mail app, or you could click on the three dots and choose to open in a new tab. When you get to your mail, it looks like any typical OA application or Outlook web app application, or especially looks like Outlook.com or Hotmail.com or Live.com, any email that you might have gotten from Microsoft as a Microsoft account would look very similar to this. So you have your usual options. And one of those options is the ability to search here, and you have your new button. Under your new button, besides clicking directly on it to create a new piece of mail, you can click the drop down and you'll see mail message that you can create, calendar event, and you can also create a group. Now we're going to look at focused and other views. In your mail, you have two views, focused and other. They will take the place of the clutter folder that you may have noticed or maybe you didn't notice. The purpose of the focus and the other view is the ability for you to be able to see emails that Office 365 think is important to you, or people that you interact with a lot. Other are mail that the system thinks might not be as important to you, or you haven't been interacting with those people that much. You can always change what view the mail will appear under by simply dragging it. So if this task assigned, which I think it actually is pretty important, I can drag it over to focused. Same thing under focused. If I say that me joining a group is not that important, I can drag it over to other, and the system will remember my preference. Next, we'll look at filtering and folders. I have the ability to filter my mail using this drop down next to filter, and I can choose how I want it filtered or how I want it sorted. I can also choose to look at my folders. My folders may be collapsed in this fashion. I could click on more to open it back up into more folders. My folders may be collapsed in a fashion such as this, where I only see a few. I can always click on more to see all of my folders. And I can get back to the more collapsed view by clicking on the arrow. Now let's look at working with mail that you receive and the accompanying contextual ribbon. When you get mail, you can click directly on that piece of mail, and you have some options available to you that become available when you click on the mail. This is called a contextual option or contextual options. They appear on this ribbon, so it's a contextual ribbon. It pops up in the context in which it's needed, and it goes away when it's not needed. So if I were to unclick off of this piece of mail, then the contextual ribbon would go away. On this ribbon, I have delete, I have archive, I have junk. I also have a drop down for junk or phishing. I also have this thing called sweep, and sweep is actually a really great tool to use because you can say that all the mail from this user, all the mail from this email address needs to be deleted from your inbox. or delete all of them in any future mails from that email address, or just keep the latest and delete the rest, or delete the messages older than 10 days. You choose your option and then you click sweep, and that'll sweep out your mail for that email. It can help you to keep your email a little bit cleaner. Also, I have the ability to move it to a specific folder, categorize. Anytime I see the three dots, I have more options. Also, on the mail, I have the ability to reply all, and I have those options here that appeared under the three dots. If I click on the mail, it collapses it. If I click on it again, it opens it. There's also these new things right here. Depending on your license, you may not see this My Analytics. If you have an E5 or your organization has subscribed to analytics, then you'll have this portion right here. You also have the ability to like a piece of mail. When you click the like, a thumb actually appears next to the piece of mail itself as well. Also, when you hover over the piece of mail, like this, you get some options here as well, like your flag. And you can also pin this one to the top of your folder, just in case it's a very important mail message that you want to get back to later. Now we're going to take a moment to give you a quick word on groups. In the beginning of this section, I talked about how you create a new group. Groups are things that Microsoft has come out with recently. They're called Office 365 groups. There are things that are about to possibly take the place of distro lists, but maybe they won't. The reason why I say that is because distro lists are also included in the groups. Here are examples of some groups. These groups all have specific pieces that come with it. It's like a mini site that's preordained, and you can't change it except for some preordained widgets that Microsoft allows you to add. So what it comes with is a files place, a place for the calendar, a place for planning, so you get planner also added into it, and a place for notes, OneNote. It also has its own built-in distro list. So people can go to the group and they can see emails listed in the group that were going to the group, but they could also just email back and forth using the email address. So they don't have to visit the group all the time. Also for groups, you don't have to sit there and watch it. You can set it so that it sends you alerts whenever things happen. And users can also set it so that they don't get alerts when things happen, or vice versa. Another good thing about groups is that you can invite external people. As long as your admin has turned on that setting, you'll be able to invite internal and external people to the group to collaborate. Now we're going to look at creating and sending your mail. When you create a piece of mail, you can simply click on the New button. You also can click the drop down and click New Mail Message. And you get your new email message. Whenever you see an icon that looks like this, you can open your message in a separate window. You have the ability to send your message, to add to and CC. If you need BCC, you click there. You can add your subject and your body, attachments, discard the mail, and whenever you see the three dots, you have the ability to show more options in which you can use. You also have all of your rich text formatting tools. And there's also another one that I actually like a lot, and it's the emoticons. So you have a bunch of different emoticons to choose from that you can add to your email. Once you do so, hit send. Now let's look at getting some more mail settings. There may come a time that you need to access more mail settings. For example, this signature is not very good. Maybe I would want to add a signature that actually reflects myself. I could go to the gear, scroll down, and click on Mail. And then I'll be in the section where I'll have more settings. And these settings for my mail will do lots of different things. My email signature is down in the layout. So I can change it and hit save.